Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you're new here, I'm Brian Craig. We'll be live on the radio in like a minute, maybe less. And man, do we have a lot to talk about today. Oh man. Here we go.
All-nighters.
Staples has you covered with remote workspace solutions. And now get 25% off desks, filing and storage solutions, lighting and decor with the purchase of any chair. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 9/24, in-store only.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yes. Oh man, welcome everyone. Do we have a lot to talk about on the radio this morning? My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. And of course, you will never hear me disagree with President Trump nor criticize President Trump. That's right. That's right. He's the greatest. And he will never be disagreed with nor criticized by me. This is the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet Earth, and for that matter, the Milky Way galaxy and the known universe. There is no one broadcasting that's going to be a stronger supporter of Trump than me right here on the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining us later, and we have a guest scheduled. A listener dropped something off for me over the weekend. I came in this morning, got a little present from a listener by the name of Marty with an I. So that tells me it was a lady. So I got women leaving me gifts here over the weekend. Left me Donald Trump coasters that I'm already using. Got my coffee on one here in the radio studio. So Marty with an I appreciate it. These are very nice coasters. That's right, Donald Trump coasters, 45th President of the United States. And these are very nice. Thank you, Marty with an I. I don't know who you are. Maybe I do. Do you call in? Do I know you? Well, I should, because you're very nice to drop off these coasters. 4 of them. That's awesome. Yeah, I got my coffee right here on top of one of them. And I bet putting my coffee on top of this Trump 45th President of the United States coaster, I bet it keeps the coffee warmer longer. I just have a sneaking suspicion of that. Well, we got a lot going on. We've got a lot to talk about. This is going to be a humongous week. President Trump going to court today about his Fourth Amendment rights being violated with the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. But 2 weeks ago today, it was 2 weeks ago today that Merrick Garland and the FBI broke into the home of President Trump right here in South Florida at Mar-a-Lago. And here we are 2 weeks later. They've got nothing. They've showed nothing. No press conference. They haven't produced anything they got while they were there because they got nothing. Now, President Trump is going to court this week. They keep saying as early as today in the news. And maybe that's true, but the news like to say things to keep you in front of the television. So they want you to think it could happen any second. It could happen this morning. It certainly wouldn't happen until after 9 o'clock because the government's closed, the courts are closed and everything. But President Trump is going to go to court this week to get the whole search, the whole break-in tossed out. Now, I've been hearing people talk about President Trump's Fourth Amendment right being violated with this ridiculous, unreasonable search and seizure from his home at Mar-a-Lago. And I agree with all of that, but And they got all these great legal minds talking about it, but they're not giving us a lot of details. And I want to throw a question out to you if you can clarify or tell me they haven't given out this detail. Now, we don't know when President Trump's going to go to court. It could be today, it could be Friday, it could be, we don't know when. Soon. Don't believe what they tell. As early as now. Keep watching. Don't get up. Don't go to. I imagine there's people in front of their television that haven't peed like in 3 days because they're afraid to leave their TV because it could happen any time. Well, the courts are closed on the weekend, people. But when President Trump, now this is my question to you that I haven't heard Turley or any of these legal analysts, even Mark Levin last night. I did watch Mark Levin's show last night. But and if you have the answer to this question, please call in and let me know the answer. And the answer may be they haven't told us this yet. When President Trump and his supermodel lawyers, he's got these beautiful fembot lawyers that work for him. When President Trump and his legal team go to court with this Fourth Amendment violation motion to get the break-in of Mar-a-Lago tossed out, do they go in front of that same federal magistrate that signed off on the warrant? Is that who they got to go to first? I'm assuming that's true. I don't know, and I haven't heard anyone say, because I don't see this Epstein lawyer, Obama donor, magistrate tossing out his own search that he authorized. But is that who they have to go to first before they go up through the ladder of succession all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States? Because I was wondering, because I was talking to Steve this morning, and he's like, oh, the way they're talking on Fox, it's already been thrown out. It's like, nothing's been thrown out. There's a process. And I'm wondering if the news are leaving this part out on purpose, that President Trump's legal team have to first go to the magistrate that signed off on the warrant, have him deny the motion before they can go to like a real judge or up the ladder. If you have the answer to that question, let me know, because that magistrate, there's no way he's going to toss out the search warrant that he signed off on. And if he's an Epstein lawyer, Obama donor, don't think he's going to recuse himself either. Give me a break. So I don't know. So this is what I want to know from you guys. Do they first have to go to the magistrate before they could move up to like a grown-up judge and then an appellate court and then the Supremes? Let me know. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call from anywhere. And I don't know, and they haven't been telling us in the news. Now, with that being said, I watched Mark Levin's TV show last night, which I do not normally do. In fact, I can tell you that since the first week he did that Fox News television show on Sunday night, last night was the only night since his first week doing that show, which I don't even know how long ago it was. Last night was the first night that I actually went out of my way to catch it, because Jared Kushner was the guest for 2 segments. And it's not very often you get to hear Jared Kushner speak. And I was pretty impressed with Jared Kushner. Weren't you guys impressed with Jared Kushner? I was impressed. It was nice to hear him speak. He's so soft-spoken. But you know what I took most out of that Jared Kushner interview on Mark Levin's Fox News TV show last night? It was interesting, him talking about his transformation into a MAGA conservative. He talked about Jared growing up and living on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and he thought he was with these very enlightened people, artists, fashion people, media people, business people, who had an understanding of the world. And it wasn't until he started going to these Trump rallies and started meeting like real people, not like Tim Gunn from that fashion show with Heidi Klum, and he started meeting people that are real people in the country, that he realized the truly enlightened people are the American people outside of Manhattan. And it was a pretty interesting interview. And that may have been, because it was a 2-segment interview, that may have been the longest interview that I've ever seen with Jared Kushner. I've only heard him speak 1 or 2 other times, more than a word or two. I mean, like have a conversation. That was the longest period of time I've ever heard Jared Kushner speak, and I was pretty impressed with it. It was last night on Mark Levin. And I think his transformation away from this New York liberal thing into like a real person, I think that's a very common thing that's happened in this country since President Trump came down the escalator. So that was a pretty exciting interview last night. And Mark Levin's good. I like Mark Levin. I've had problems with him. I was a humongous fan of Mark Levin. And then in the first campaign, he was a never-Trumper for quite a while. I mean, he was really... And I could be wrong about this part, but my recollection is he was a Ted Cruz guy, but he was a very strong anti-Trump guy during the primary phase, along with Glenn Beck, and I always have that in the back of my mind. Never trust a never-Trumper. Even when they come around, you've got to be cautious with them. okay? It's like a spy who defects. You never give them all the security clearance. You always got your eye on them. They've defected to the United States from the Soviet Union, but you still got to keep your eye on. And that's how I am with Never Trumpers. Never trust fully a Never Trumper, even if they're doing the right thing now. We like them. They're promoting our cause and getting the truth out there. But I'm always on alert with Never Trumpers, even past Never Trumpers who have had an awakening, because the Never Trumpers are, of course, establishment people. But Mark Levin's very good. I do like Mark Levin, and I liked his show last night, including his opening monologue. I thought it was pretty good. But never, you've always, even though we like him, we support him, he's doing good stuff, you always got to keep your eye on these recovered Never Trumpers. And he's not alone in this. Mark Levin, Glenn Beck, Candace Owens was a big Never Trumper. Yeah, that's right. All right, now listen, we're going to take our first break of the hour. When we come back, we'll take some calls. But I want to know, does President Trump's legal team, this Fourth Amendment violation that they're going to take to court this week, do they have to go to this federal magistrate that signed off on the warrant? 888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, I'm Brian Craig, back after this quick break.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies.
Yeah, I don't know who Marty is that sent me these, but they're nice. I like them. I like these Trump coasters.
Symptoms with Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West Del Rey. Hormone replacement pellet therapy will 100% stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. Vaginal dryness reversed. You'll get your sex drive back too. Call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free, customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now at Boca in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. South of Palmetto on the east side of 441. Open Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard, aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your installation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Indeed it is. We are back. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet Earth, the Steve Kane Radio Show. That's right. Callers on hold, stand by. We will go to your phones momentarily. But I got to tell you about the great MAGA man himself, Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow. Now, I got a message from Mike Lindell's office over the weekend. They updated some of their specials at MyPillow.com when you use our promo code Kane at checkout. And, sometimes they change because they run out of inventory. And, by the way, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper still is 50% off with the promo code Kane. But they sent me an email over the weekend that this incredible special on the MyPillow My Slippers is about to expire because they're going to start running out of inventory very quickly on a whole bunch of sizes and styles. And once they start running out of sizes and styles, they're going to end it without notice. And the MyPillow My Slippers, which I have a pair of, I'm going to ask my wife to order me another pair today. I have the tan fur-lined moccasin ones, but I think I'm going to get the non-fur-lined slip-ons. And the MyPillow My Slippers are really made, calling them a slipper does them a disservice. They're made for all-day wear, and a lot of people do wear them all day. When I get home, I pull a Mr. Rogers. I go home, I take my shoes off, and put my MyPillow My Slippers on. In fact, that's what I was wearing around the house all weekend, as usual. And I'm going to get the tan slip-ons, I think. But this special is about to expire without notice because they're almost out of inventory on certain styles, colors, and sizes. And right now, the MyPillow My Slippers, when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, are $90 off. You heard me, $90 off for Steve Kane listeners at MyPillow.com when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. That is on all styles, the fur line, the non-fur line, the moccasins, the pink for the ladies. They come in many different colors, $90 off, moccasins and the slip-ons, just $49.98. But you've got to use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And I am definitely today ordering a pair of the tan non-fur-lined slip-ons, just $49.98, $90 off. This promo is about to expire. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, and I just checked before the show, and they have every size and color currently in stock, but they told me over the weekend they will be running out very quickly, and immediately, without notice, they will end that special. $90 off, just $49.98 for the MyPillow slippers when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Louisiana.
To answer your question, I don't know, but I wouldn't think it would go back.
Well, I didn't ask people to call me and tell me they don't know. I asked people to call me and tell me if they who do know. I don't need people to call. I don't need people to call in and tell me they don't know something. Hey, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. 2 weeks ago today, the FBI, Merrick Garland, broke into President Trump's home, Mar-a-Lago. 2 weeks. Why have we not had a press conference? Why have we not seen any evidence seized? Why has there been no movement?
Because they're not going to show their hand, and you know Merrick Garland's not going to show his hand.
Show his hand? I think he has shown his hand, and it's empty.
You don't know what Merrick.
No, they told us this. Okay, President Trump was selling a list of spies. He had a bidding war going on between Russia and Saudi Arabia, sold a list of spies to Saudi Arabia for MSNBC and Tom Hartman. That he sold a list of. Well, let me finish. He sold a list of spies for a couple $2 billion to Saudi Arabia. The Justice Department released information that he had classified nuclear materials, including the nuclear codes. If President Trump was giving information to foreign powers, or was at risk of doing that, just because they seized those documents doesn't mean they seized the photocopies of them. Why have they allowed this spy to roam free for 2 weeks since the break-in?
Because they're getting their evidence together.
They're getting their evidence together.
If they would have arrested him, y'all would have had something else to say. Trump, why would Trump release those FBI agents' names to get them hurt?
No, he didn't release anyone's name. No, he did not. No, he did not. Breitbart, Breitbart released some of the affidavit that was sealed, but President Trump has not. President Trump has not released anything, Louisiana. No. That would be no. He has not released anything to anyone. No, he did not.
So that's fine. That's fine. You want to admit?
But now, why'd you call me today? You picked up the phone and called me. What was the specific reason that you called?
Because they asked you a question.
You were on hold before I asked that. You were on hold before I. That's not true. You were on hold before I asked that question.
I was on hold when
I asked a question before the break, but you were on hold before I asked the question.
Mine. I heard.
Okay, all right. Everything out of Louisiana's mouth is just weaselly and lying. Oh, man. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. So CNN, which no longer employs Brian Stelter, CNN's Jim Acosta had Michael Cohen on, President Trump's former lawyer. And this clip here, this is so typical of these Trump haters. Listen to this. Jim Acosta with Trump's sleazy lawyer, ex-lawyer Michael Cohen. Oh, hold on. It helps if I turn everything on. It's the first soundbite of the week, guys. Bear with me. Here we go.
Question I wanted to ask you more than anything else, because I've known you a while, and I know you've known Donald Trump for years now, decades now. Do you think this is it? You hear the cliche, the walls are closing in, and the time's about up for Donald Trump and so on. I wonder what you think, Michael Cohen, knowing what you know about Donald Trump, how he seems to have 9,000 lives, not 9 lives. Do you think that time is running out for Trump?
This is what they're always doing. We got him now. He's got 9,000 lives. This whole theme that this is Acosta's CNN. We finally got him, Michael Cohen. This thing about his 9,000 lives, this is a common theme with these Trump haters out there. They think he's getting off of these charges all the time and accusations because he's lucky. Maybe it's because he never broke the law, guys. Has that occurred to you? That he's a law-abiding citizen and doesn't break the law? So let's hear what the sleazy lawyer has to say to that. Let me go back a little bit here. Let's go. Here's Jim Acosta asking Michael Cohen, sleazy former Trump lawyer, a question.
Ask you more than anything else, because I've known you a while, and I know you've known Donald Trump for years now, decades now. Do you think this is it? You hear the cliche, the walls are closing in, and the time's about up for Donald Trump and so on. I wonder what you think, Michael Cohen, knowing what you know about Donald Trump, how he seems to have 9,000 lives, not 9 lives. Do you think that time is running out for Trump?
Yeah, I think ultimately what's happened now is time has gone on and these investigations have now advanced, and the information, the truth, has come out, and the truth is never good for Donald Trump.
Okay, are the walls closing in? I've been hearing the walls closing in since 2015. These people are obsessed. And they always think their latest scheme will have the walls closing in. And he's so lucky. No, he's not lucky. He's a law-abiding citizen who hasn't even jaywalked. Okay? All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. You are listening to the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. The Steve Kane Show will be back right after this break. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. The Steve Kane Show will be back right after this break.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. When you like the video, it tells that YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and all my content to people that have not yet found my channel. And that's always a good thing that helps us out a lot. And I appreciate when you all do that. Mainstream Mafia News. That's right. I'm just reading a couple articles I'm going to talk about when we get back. Well, thank you, Michelle, for hitting that like button. That's right. Mornings are great again. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do something. Good.
We all know about the speed of sound, but have you ever thought about the sound of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You can hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, the sound of first responders desperately trying to save you. You can even hear the sound of people crying at a funeral. Because if you drive over the speed limit, you can do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, Joshua, but go to Donald Trump's website and see what he's suggesting. That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got about 2 minutes left and we'll be back. Yeah, President Trump's not a politician. That's the whole thing.
Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922.
Oh, boy. It's one of those days, people.
Hey, we'd like to
about a little less than a minute to go.
Insurance are always ready to help you customize your home and auto insurance. With Liberty Mutual, you only pay for what you need. How many times have you bought a subscription to a magazine or website that you never look at? Let Liberty Mutual customize your insurance, and maybe you save money by switching. This message brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Now, back
here we
to
go.
the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right. We are back. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, our number toll-free, 888-GO-KANE-1. And, of course, we are on the air weekday mornings from 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. from North Miami all the way north through the Treasure Coast. And welcome to the program. There's so much going on. So, sleazy lawyer Michael Cohen. So, first he went on CNN with Jim Acosta. With the walls are closing in. That was his first stop. Let me play this again. This is Jim Acosta asking Michael Cohen if the walls are finally closing in on Trump.
Question I wanted to ask you more than anything else, because I've known you a while, and I know you've known Donald Trump for years now, decades now. Do you think this is it?
Disgusting.
You hear the cliche, the walls are closing in, and the time's about up for Donald Trump and so on. I wonder what you think, Michael Cohen, knowing what you know about Donald Trump, how he seems to have 9,000 lives, not 9 lives. Do you think that time is running out for Trump?
Yeah, I think ultimately what's happened now is time has gone on and these investigations have now advanced. And the information, the truth, has come out. And the truth is never good for Donald Trump.
Okay, so there we have Jim Acosta has Michael Cohen. Then, so Michael Cohen, when Michael Cohen went to prison, I told you what was going to happen with Michael Cohen. He was going to be the new media darling for the next 30 years, 20 or 30 years. He's going to be the new John Dean. They still have these old fossils, these senior citizens with walkers on oxygen from the Watergate era. And they're running out of people. Have you seen Bernstein? Oh, my goodness. They keep bringing out these Watergate attorneys and Nixon people, and they're dying off. They're old. They need a new, fresh crop of traitor Benedict Arnold Republicans. And Michael Cohen is their boy. He's on everything. So after Jim Acosta at CNN, he went over to MSNBC and talked to another snake, another Benedict Arnold, Michael Steele. Listen to this. So then he leaves Acosta, and then he goes over to MSNBC, Michael Cohen, with Michael Steele.
Why do you think he wanted to keep those top secret documents at Mar-a-Lago?
Well, he's going to use it as a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a way to extort America to turn around to say, if you put me in jail, if you go after, he'll even say his children simply, after him, I will have my loyal supporters, who you do not know who has, copies of information that may have been, and again, this is my conjecture, that I will take those documents, I will release them to you.
By the way, this is my conjecture is code word for I'm making this crap up.
To China, to North Korea, to Russia. And you know what? You want to take me down? I'll take the whole country down. Because remember, and I've said this with you 1,000 times, Mike.
Yeah.
Donald Trump doesn't care about this country.
No,
he doesn't care about anyone or anything other than himself.
All right. Michael Cohen, you always bring the receipts, brother. Appreciate you.
You always bring the receipts, brother. Michael Steele. Okay, so Michael Cohen's got nothing. To stay on TV and to get paid, all he has to do is make crap up about Trump. This is Donald Trump is going to sell secrets to North Korea and Iran unless he stopped now. And you hear how these left-wing media outlets, this is like food to them. It's like, you never have a fish tank and you sprinkle that flake of food and all the fish come up to the top and start grabbing it? That's how these guys are when Michael Cohen starts sharing all his BS. And Michael Steele over there at MSNBC, let's not forget about Michael Steele. He was the chairman of the Republican National Committee for a time a few years ago. And what had happened, after Obama got elected, a lot of Republicans got this This idea that we need to start promoting minorities into high-level positions in the Republican Party so they don't think we're racist, everyone else, because they got a black president, the Democrats now, with Obama. So they made this guy who's yucking it up with Michael Cohen, Michael Steele, the head of the RNC. And what does he do with that? He uses the credibility as a former leader of the Republican Party to go on MSNBC every day for how many years now? As a Benedict Arnold traitor, trashing Republicans at every opportunity. All right, let's go to our phones. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Good morning.
Hey, Richie the bus driver. How you doing, Richie?
Fine, thanks. Hey, Jim Acosta's a dirtbag.
Yes.
And so is Cohen. The fact of the matter is, Cohen doesn't care. Trump doesn't care.
Oh, your mouth is away from the phone.
President, hold on.
Yeah, the part you talk into is away from your mouth.
President, can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, President Trump cares about the country. He doesn't care about Michael Cohen. People don't realize Michael Cohen was the scumbag who got caught with a taxi medallion ripping people off, and then he got ticked off because President Trump separated himself from this guy. So what did this guy do? He goes out and...
Well, Michael Cohen also, he was, who knows how long he was working with these Democrats. Michael Cohen is the one who set Donald Trump up with Stormy Daniels. He's the one who paid with his own money Stormy Daniels, not President Trump. And that was a way to try to connect Trump to her beyond just that photograph.
Yeah, but he also brought up all that crap, trying to keep his sorry ass out of jail.
That's right.
And President Trump separated himself from this guy, so this guy's very bitter that Trump didn't go in his corner and fight for him. Well, he's a dirtbag.
Correct.
All right. Now, the other thing is that I was listening, I think it was War Room. They actually, it's a gentleman in charge of Trump. The lawyer is a male. He's going to federal court, not to this judge. He's going to a regular judge. And they're saying it was an illegal search and seizure, the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. The warrant.
Yeah, I know who you're talking. I don't know his name yet. These beautiful attorneys are kind of like the spokespeople. They're attorneys, but they're kind of like the spokespeople. There's like a man, I don't know his name yet, who's the lead attorney for Trump in this case. Is he going to federal court here in Florida? I hope they're doing some judge shopping.
Yeah, they're going to take it, and they want their stuff back because the warrant was too broad. The Fourth Amendment was obviously it was wrong what they did. Anybody that thinks it's different, look at the Fourth Amendment of the United States. They have to go. In other words, if somebody's going to break into your house, the FBI or anyone else to get evidence, it has to be specified. They just can't go through your whole home and ransack it.
And you have a right to face your accusers. So if they really do have spies inside the Trump orbit, they have to identify themselves, which I don't believe they do, but they claim to have them.
They do either, right?
I think they lied. Like with the FISA warrant to get it.
Well, the other thing I want to say to you, and I'll tiptoe. The other day you cut me off by.
Well, Richie, is it really smart for you to call in with that every day about me? I mean, what are you trying to do? Now I'm going to cut you off again. Don't be stupid. Richie's a bull in a china shop. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
What we're looking at here with these people, the Democrats, and of course these traitorous Benedict Arnolds and Beatrice Arnolds, in terms of what's her name, Kinzinger and Cheney and stuff. What we're looking at here is, to put it in the form of cartoon, is he's the road runner to their Wile E. Coyote. Everything they throw at him, it backfires on him.
And Jim Acosta just thinks he's lucky. Maybe he's just a law-abiding citizen, Donald Trump, Jim Acosta.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe he just is a law-abiding citizen that is getting a raw deal. This is a guy that, he may have said some stuff like I could murder somebody in Times Square and get off with it, or something to that effect. And maybe he can, maybe he can't. I don't.
He said I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and still get elected. He said.
Yeah, that's what he said. And maybe he can, maybe he can't. But again, this is a guy that we know how crooked things are in New York State. They keep saying, well, he had to do some crooked things to get stuff done in New York. Well, yeah, that's how things are running in New York. You know, if you don't do certain things, you can't get anything done.
That's right.
He's trying to get things built in New York.
Yeah, but I love how Jim Acosta with this sleaze, Michael Cohen. Are the walls finally closing in on Donald Trump? What kind of question is that? I've heard that question asked so many times since That's probably the most common question asked on CNN. Hey, Mike, Louisiana, I got to run for our break. All right, thanks for the call. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number is toll free from anywhere. 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane will be joining us in progress later on in the program. We'll be back right after this quick break. Radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane will be joining us in progress later on in the program. We'll be back right after this quick break.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Who's this guy with the pillows on Fox? My pillow guy, Mike Lindell. Where is Mike? He's the greatest.
For that super sticker. Yeah, I'm sitting down. I hurt my knee like a week ago, my left knee. So when I'm standing, I'm in a lot of pain. So I hate to sit, because every time I sit during the show, I feel like I'm a white guy with a guitar, that I should be strumming a guitar as I talk. I like to stand up when I'm on the air.
We all know about the speed of sound. But have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, the sound of first responders desperately trying to save you. You could even hear the sound of people crying at a funeral. Because if you drive over the speed limit, you can do
yeah, they got nothing on Trump. They got, and the fact that they got to bring on this sleazeball, Michael Cohen, just to make crap up who's got nothing, tells you everything you need to know. Brian, are you a secret beatnik? I'm not even sure what a beatnik is. What's a beatnik? I should get a ukulele? Yeah. Yeah, my left knee is killing me. I climbed up on my roof to watch a SpaceX launch, and when I got down, I jumped off the ladder because it was shaking, and I jumped off the ladder too high and hit the ground and hurt my knee.
Look for the white box with the blue star in the first aid section.
And I didn't even get to see the rocket because it was too cloudy.
Improve your vehicle's gas mileage and power with Royal Purple Fuel Injector Cleaner at O'Reilly Auto Parts. And right now, buy one 6-ounce bottle and get one free. Plus,
me too. It hurts a lot. And I take no pain medication for it. I should take an aspirin or something. I might grab an aspirin during the break.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Yes, it is. I'm Brian Craig. Welcome back, everyone. It is the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You know, we were talking last week, 30 years ago, Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida. That was my first major hurricane. And, man, you know, those of you that are new to Florida, hurricanes are not fun. Hurricanes are not a time to have a party. I am probably the most prepared hurricane home in this listening audience. I have hurricane windows and hurricane shutters. I have a hurricane door on my garage. Yeah, that's right. And I have hurricane doors on my home. But, you know, it's so important to call Tom Laporta. He's a good MAGA guy at Laporta Contracting, and have him do an inspection of your roof. You know, I was talking last week, one of our salespeople, years ago, 30 years ago, had his roof ripped off while he was at home at his mother's house, who was 90 years old during the hurricane, because they had just a little weak spot. And what happens? You know, you got a little leaky or loose tile, a loose shingle on your roof. That hurricane wind, remember, we're still in hurricane season, is always looking for an entrance. And it gets that entrance under a shingle, under a tile, and boom, then it just rips the whole roof off. And it's, you know, it's like off to Oz, and it's not fun. It's very dangerous. And a lot of people ask about hurricanes and what it's like. When you're at home during a hurricane, it sounds like you've got a freight train outside the window of your home for hours. That's what it's like. And there's nothing to play around with. And Tom Laporta, no matter where you're located in Florida, can help you. Have him do a roof inspection. He does all kinds of roofs, all materials, as well as single-family homes, commercial roofs. He even does churches, condos, HOAs. He can help you with everything. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Make sure you tell Tom Laporta you heard about him on the radio. All right, we'll go back to our phones. Lots happening. So we got from Richie the bus driver a little information that President Trump's lawyer is going to go to a real federal judge, not the magistrate who signed off on this break-in of Mar-a-Lago 2 weeks ago today, to have the entire search tossed out. This is awesome stuff, people. So we're getting some info here. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number, toll-free from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, the walls aren't falling down around Trump. They're falling down around the deep state and those rats in the swamp, and they're getting desperate. And I don't even believe that they have a Secret Service agent that went rogue or whatever they claim. And I think that was something to try to get, Trump's inner circle worried that they got people in there, because I don't believe that for a second either.
No, I don't. We know when they had that FISA warrant, they used phony things, phony sources. I don't think they have sources around Trump. That's one of the reasons that they want to keep the affidavit sealed, because they really don't have sources. They made it up.
It's all made up, Brian. And after, since 2015, all these years, 7 years now going on, they've never found anything on Trump. They're not going to. And
it's not only have they not found something on Trump, he is so squeaky clean, Donald Trump, they've not even been able to manufacture something against Donald Trump. I mean, think about it, and they've tried hard to do it, too.
And think of it, it's the deep state doing it. These people that they're on their last edge hanging on. They're hanging on by their fingertips. And if Trump gets back in that office, I believe it's game over for the swamp, and we're going to see him finish his problem.
Well, already Liz Cheney over the weekend, she's talking about being prepared to testify in front of the congressional House hearing and a Senate committee investigating the January 6th committee. So, I mean, that's amazing. If you don't get what I mean, it's expected when the MAGA Republicans take over both houses of Congress in November that there will be hearings in both houses investigating the January 6th Kangaroo Committee. And over the weekend, Liz Cheney said she's prepared to testify at those hearings investigating her committee. That's amazing. So that and that better happen, Kevin McCarthy.
All the committees will be balanced with it's all been one-sided in that J6 committee with no defense for those poor people that are still in prison. That's crazy. And that won't happen anymore with a majority House and Senate by the Republicans.
I would imagine that when President Trump, after he announces that he's running officially, people are going to start asking him. No one's asked him yet, that I've heard. Will you pardon the January 6th prisoners?
Immediately. I think he'll do it immediately.
Yeah, and I think he should. Jimmy Carter pardoned all the draft dodgers that fled to Canada. And those draft dodgers, a lot of them got boys killed because people got drafted and went to Vietnam in their place, and some of them didn't make it. So those draft dodgers, who got people killed by not taking their spot, they were pardoned, and no one batted an eye.
And another thing that's going to happen is this attack on our military is going to end. When we hope the House and the Senate would stop this mandate on vaccine.
I don't want to get off on that because then I'll have a full board. It's like when you talk about marijuana. I'll have a full board about that. I don't want to get into that. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Robin from South Carolina again.
Hey, Robin.
I just heard you say that nobody was asking Trump what he was going to do if he got elected about day 6, and I watched all of his rallies. I just love every single one of them, and he actually did say in one of his rallies that he was going to correct that.
Yeah, he didn't say no. The question is pardon. I haven't heard him say pardon the January 6th people. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hope he does. Thanks.
All right, appreciate the call, Robin from South Carolina. Now, tomorrow, Tuesday, here in Florida, we have our Florida primary, and it's a big one. The Florida primary tomorrow is a big one, and you MAGA people, you need to get out and vote. Our great Governor Ron DeSantis is running unopposed for governor. So, in a way, that's a good thing. That's how popular he is, but also it's a negative in that a lot of people feel, well, why bother? It's just the primary. Ron DeSantis is running unopposed, and in Florida, you can only vote for people in your party that you're registered as, all right? So if you're a Democrat, everyone on your ballot tomorrow is a Democrat. If you're a registered Republican like me, everyone on your ballot is a Republican. It's important to go out there because there's a lot of other races there, including congressional races all over the place. And tomorrow's a big day for people that are up in the Orlando, Florida, Villages area, Ocala, and those areas, because Laura Loomer is running for Congress up there, and she's in a Republican primary against an incumbent. And if Laura Loomer wins this primary tomorrow, it's a very strong Republican district that covers the Villages. She will be in Congress, so that's a big one. But these primary races are very important. Now, a lot of people have been asking me and messaging me, are Steve and I going to go through our recommendations? The answer to that is no. And the reason that is because everyone's ballot is different depending on where you are. My ballot is different than Steve's ballot. Even though we're both here in South Florida, we have different House races, and there's other things there too. So so we can't go through that. It's just too many different candidates on different ballots. But it's important for Republicans, in particular MAGA Republicans, to turn out and vote tomorrow. Just because Governor DeSantis is running unopposed does not mean you need to stay home because we've got it in the bag. Our House seats are important. And there's also, depending on where you are, there could be school board races and other things too. There's all kinds of things on the ballot. So make sure in Florida you go and vote tomorrow. I've never missed a vote. And I don't do the early voting. I always vote on Election Day. And, a lot of people like to vote early. I like the experience of doing it on Election Day. And when I go and vote tomorrow, I will be wearing my Make America Great Again hat. And do not let anyone tell you you can't vote if you've got Trump gear on. I've been voting since I've been old enough to vote, And almost, not every time, it depends, but most of the time that I voted, I've had at least a shirt on for whoever I was voting for back in those days. And I've never had someone tell me I couldn't vote because I was wearing a t-shirt or a hat for a candidate. I've never heard this. Now, there's a rule that you can't campaign. Like, a campaign cannot campaign within a certain number of feet of a polling location. You're not a campaign worker. You are a voter. And these poll watchers, we got these poll watchers. They have a Republican and a Democrat poll watcher at every polling location. I've had terrible, nasty experiences with Democrat poll watchers, okay? Don't listen to them. And typically you have a good experience with Republican poll watchers. But I'm here to tell you something, that a lot of these Republican poll watchers are never Trumpers. So don't just assume they're your friend. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself with these poll watchers. And I've heard people tell me, I showed up to vote, they wouldn't let me vote because I was wearing a Trump shirt. That's a lie. Campaigns are not allowed to campaign within a certain number of feet. I don't remember the exact number of feet from a polling location. You as a voter can wear your shirt. Even you Democrats out there, you can wear your Democrat garb and still vote. That is not true. They will, and they tell this to people that have MAGA gear on. You know why they tell you. So just, stand your ground. Beware of the poll watchers. Aren't supposed to be interfering with you. Okay. They're not supposed to even be talking to you. So if you are bothered by a poll watcher, tell them to leave you alone, that you're there to vote. And this is the phrase you use with poll watchers, okay? And this is a code word. You are interfering with the voter. I am voting and you are interfering with me. That's the trigger that they don't like, okay? Poll watchers are there to watch and not interfere. Do not be intimidated by poll. Golly, I feel like this is what it was like for blacks in the Deep South, right? During the Democrat Jim Crow era. But poll watchers are there to watch, not to interfere and not to speak with you unless you speak to them. They're not your boss or your overseer, all right? I will be wearing my Make America Great Again hat when I vote tomorrow with my wife, and I'll be wearing it with pride. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane will be joining us in progress. We'll be back right after this. Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane will be joining us in progress. We'll be back right after this. Well, I'm in Florida, okay? I don't know what they do in West Virginia, but I'm talking about Florida tomorrow. Yeah, 150 feet. I did watch some of Mike Lindell. I did. Yeah, I think it's 150 feet. But in Florida, before Trump, I never heard anyone being told they couldn't wear, their candidate's shirt or hat when they voted. Remember, poll watchers are watchers. They're to watch and report. They're not to interfere with you at all. Yeah, I'm in a lot. My left knee is in so much pain. I do have some pain medication here. That's pretty good. I gotta mix it with water. I don't have time to get it now. It's headache for headaches. Would that work? Acetaminophen?
If you want to start the semester strong, Staples has you covered.
A gaming chair for my dorm. I mean, a desk chair for studying.
Staples has you covered.
A better way to organize my stuff instead of using milk crates.
A desk lamp to help me pull all-nighters.
Staples has you covered with remote workspace solutions. And now get 25% off desks, filing and storage solutions, lighting and decor.
Yeah, this, I gotta mix it with water though.
Store solutions for your remote workspace at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 9/24. In-store only.
Opinions are like everyone's got one. Get yours in the Steve Kane Show.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. Steve will be joining us a little later in the hour, and we have a guest scheduled, a good guest, for the next hour that you will not want to miss. I saw a story today. The Biden administration is warning governors in New England of a fuel shortage. See, this is ridiculous. You know, the fuel shortage they're talking about is all man-made. The Democrats are trying to push us into these alternative vehicles, right? These electric vehicles. And, the problem with that is people don't want them. America, this kind of started with, I guess, General Motors, back in the day after the Second World War, but freedom of the road. That's what people want, freedom of the road. And when you see fuel shortages in America, in my lifetime, we've never had shortages like this. Fuel shortages in New England, baby formula shortage, which is a food shortage. That's food for infants, baby formula. The tampon shortage is still continuing, as well as the baby food shortage is continuing. Even during the height of the shutdowns and lockdowns worldwide, we didn't do without under President Trump. These shortages are happening on purpose, in particular the fuel shortage that they're warning people in New England for. They figure high prices, they're excited about this. The Drudge Report, which used to be something everyone went to, does anyone go to the Drudge Report anymore? Their headline story, majority believe USA's best days are behind us. That's the headline. If you're a liberal, if you're a Democrat, you're high-fiving that. Liberals have been telling us that making America great again is racist, that America being the leader of the world is a terrible thing. I don't understand exactly why they think that, but that's a positive headline from a liberal perspective. Majority believe USA's best days are behind. Yeah, that's good news if you're a Democrat. Everything is wackadoodle, and I'm here to tell you, I saw Biden stumbling around over the weekend with his wife, who just cannot walk in high heels. Caitlyn Jenner walks better in high heels than Joe Biden. I'm going to tell you this right here, right now. Joe Biden is running for re-election. He is running for re-election. I can tell by seeing him on television over the weekend with his wife. She likes being first lady too much. And she's just as sleazy as she is. She's been married to him for decades. She raised Hunter. She's as sleazy as Joe and Hunter are. So don't worry about it. They're running Democrats. Stop trying to find a replacement because he's not going anywhere, which is a good thing. All right, let's go back to our phones at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Senator Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
First thing is, you mentioned the electric car. You're sitting on a battery. Do you ever see a battery blow up? Batteries are dangerous. You sit on top of it. I haven't seen anybody explode with a battery yet, but that's coming sooner or later. Anyway, Joe Biden is trying to make his image a little bit better now with his nonsense. You see what they said? Oh, we gave everybody $100 raise by lowering the gas prices, and the gas prices have never...
Yeah, they double the gas prices and then lower them a few cents, and we're supposed to be... I saw over the weekend what made me say that Biden's running for re-election. He announced over the weekend he's going to go on a U.S. tour to let everybody know the goodness that he passed in that bill last week, why we should all be grateful. You know, I want to throw this out to any Democrat in the audience, okay? But they signed this big bill last week. Can you tell me one thing in it that's a positive for the country? I don't want to hear a list of the negatives. I'm talking about a Democrat. Can you call in and give me something from that bill last week that's a positive for the country, for the American people?
Well, the Democrats, I talked to some Democrats yesterday, and the thing they hate most is there's no IRS amount of agents. That I think is...
Now, that's the only thing people are talking about. But if you, I'm asking for positive. One thing in the bill, by the way, thanks for the call, Doug. One thing in the bill, you Democrats out there, that's a positive for the American people. In that bill they signed. Do you know? I've never seen such a large bill passed, and no one can tell us anything about it. All right, 1-888-GO-Kane-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
RJ, Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Jay.
Good morning.
Yes.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing if he runs. It'll divide the Democratic Party. Now, who's going to run against him?
Oh, it's awesome.
He runs.
Oh, no, it's awesome. A failed president running for re-election. I think it's great. I want Biden to run. I don't want someone else.
It'll divide. It'll split up the vote from the Democrats. I don't know who will run against him, but what can he possibly run on?
More failure?
There you go. Bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, can I go off on a tangent?
It depends on what it's about.
Pelosi's son going with her on the Asian tour, and he's just as sleazy as Hunter, from what I...
Well, I saw today about her drunk driving husband. That companies of his had a bunch of those PPP loans. You know, I mean, what the hell? You know, and there's a scandal brewing with that. You know, the Pelosi family, like the Biden family, are so corrupt they don't even know it. They don't know another way of life. To them, being corrupt is just how the world works. They don't even know that they're criminals. That's how sick they're criminally insane.
Paulie Jr. is someone to watch because he's just as sleazy, and the same thing. She dragged him along. He's not a government official. He's not a dignitary. He was introduced at one of the events, and then his name was redacted from the transcript. What is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. All right. Take care. Well, thank you. I love a caller who knows when they're out of material. A lot of callers don't know that. Like Doug, conservative Doug, he would stay on till 9 o'clock every day, even though he only repeats something I've said or someone else has said prior to his call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing?
Hey, Wisconsin Gary. How's it going?
Oh, well, it's been a tiring night, but, with Biden, there's never anything that's good because, fellow truck drivers that I hang around with out here on the road, they're complaining about the high price of fuel. People are complaining about the cost of inflation, and I still have yet to hear one Democrat that ever comes on the broadcast that says, oh, Biden's done this, Biden's done that, when there was a president in office within his first 100 days, probably had 5 sheets of paper of things, of accomplishments that he's done, and within the 4 years of his time, he's probably got well over, I think, 30, 45 sheets of paper of a true accomplishment that he gave back to the American people.
And he's accomplishing things when he's not even in office, President Trump, like overturning Roe v. Wade.
Exactly. Not to mention, in my home state of Wisconsin, I've seen a billboard for a Democrat party, and it's like, I should go see about buying that billboard sign and put something real good on it and says, if you want a real U.S., then maybe we should really vote in the true president.
Yeah. Well, he'll be back. You know, what we're going to find, and I'm going to talk more about this as the show goes on, but we're going to find that President Trump having I said this, I saw Trump his last few minutes of his first term, and if you watch my YouTube video on that, on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube, he was smiling ear to ear, and I said he doesn't look like he's got a worry in the world. And, you know, President Trump in this primary season has had 209 victories. 209 of his endorsed candidates have won their primaries. 17 losses. It's a world record. He is if he were in his second term now, he wouldn't be primarying out all these never Trumper rhinos. Okay, that he would be making deals with them so he could get his agenda through. And what he's done is a massive purge of the Republican Party.
And here's the biggest thing: when he gets back in office, and he turns America back into greatness once again, from basically after how bad everything is looking right now, he will be considered in U.S. history the greatest president ever to turn an economy really bad into complete greatness for everybody else, American people.
That's right. That's right. All right, Wisconsin Gary, thanks for the call. Wisconsin Gary is a private owner-operator truck driver. And you know how tough it is for those guys with the high cost of diesel. Yeah, did you know this? President Trump has had 209 endorsement victories in this primary season alone. A world record that will only be broken if he breaks it again during the next election cycle. That's amazing. He's completely reshaped the Republican Party. We'll take a quick break, come back, call us on hold, stand by. A lot more to talk about on the program. 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this. A lot more to talk about on the program. 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this. Be right back, guys. I got to get a cup of water for my pain medication.
Kane Show with Brian Craig, morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
The Steve Kane 2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex out of Fort Lauderdale. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And then St. Kitts. With exclusive events just for our group. Fine dining together every night, cocktail parties, shore excursions, onboard activities, and a whole lot more. On the line is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked this group space during COVID, during the height of the pandemic, so we got some incredible deals.
Call Ian right now and lock in your cabin. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. 244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed.
And we'd like to remind you that the folks at Liberty Mutual Insurance are always ready to help you customize your home and auto insurance. With Liberty Mutual, you only pay for what you need. How many times have you bought a subscription to a magazine or website that you never look at? Let Liberty Mutual customize your insurance, and maybe you save money by switching. This message brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I couldn't find a real cup, so I got my pain medication mixed here. Hold on.
New, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561
Shit. Oh, you just heard me use profanity. Maybe the first time you heard me say anything. I just said the S word because I can't get this on with one hand.
We all know about the speed of sound. But have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You can hear the sound of your vehicle crashing.
Did you guys catch it?
Desperately trying to save you. You can even hear the sound of people.
You won't hear me swear very much.
Because if you drive over the speed limit, you can do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Improve your vehicle's gas mileage and power with Royal Purple Fuel Injector Cleaner at O'Reilly Auto Parts. And right now, buy one 6-ounce bottle and get one free. Plus, earn double O rewards points with your purchase. Save money on gas and boost performance with Royal Purple Fuel Injector Cleaner at O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
racing for the phone. 888-COCAINE-1. This is the Steve.
Alrighty, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Everything happens off the air, guys. You miss everything. Oh, man. Steve will be joining us after the bottom of the hour break, and we have a guest in the 9 o'clock, or the 8 o'clock hour. There is not a 9 o'clock hour. There's an 8 o'clock hour. I'm getting like Biden. Getting all confused. Don't know what's going on. Don't know where I'm at. But I don't have the nuclear football. All right, welcome back, everyone. Callers on hold, stand by. Just to recap, Wisconsin Gary, I threw this in at the end with Wisconsin Gary, but I want to highlight this. This was not easy information to obtain because the media don't want to tell you this, but President Trump has had 209 endorsement victories this election cycle during these primaries. 209. 8 of the 10 House members that voted to impeach our great president have lost their primaries and are out. That's 80% of them. President Trump, and it's amazing, President Trump has completely reshaped the Republican Party, not just in Congress through this, because that's certainly happening, but he's endorsing people in other races, not just governors, but lower offices in states all over the country. 209 victories. And this reshaping of the Republican Party, I don't think he would have done this if he were in his second term right now, because he would have to make deals with these people to get his agenda through. That's what you got to do. It's negotiating, the art of the deal. And him having these 2 non-consecutive terms, first off, he's going to come back in 2024 with a major mandate to do everything he wants to do. But he would not have reshaped the Republican Party like he's done. It made it a MAGA party, which is really an amazing accomplishment. 209 victories, just 17 losses. World record. Never happened before. All right, let's go to the phones. 888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Hello? Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Are you okay?
Texas.
All right, Texas. What's on your mind?
This thing about climate change, Statue of Liberty, whenever it was first put up, and the water line, and look at the water line today.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because climate change is just a hoax.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because you're calling me from Texas out of the blue. You're calling in about that. What inspired you to pick up the phone and just talk about the climate change lie this morning? I'm just curious. It's on your mind.
Because they're using that to redo America, to destroy America.
Well, what it is, the climate change, the first time I saw climate change used for politics was when Newt Gingrich first left Congress. Well, left is a kind way to say it, right? He was kind of thrown out. But Newt Gingrich did a commercial with Nancy Pelosi. She was Speaker and he was the former Speaker. He was no longer in Congress. They did a commercial together about global warming. And what global warming is, climate change, they changed the name of it because, the weather didn't agree with the name, so they had to rebrand it to climate change. But climate change, what it's really about is a way for them to pay off donors. It's a grift, it's a con to pay off donors and to make a lot of money. It's not about destroying the country or anything. It may have that consequence. It may have that side effect. But like this bill they passed last week that they were high-fiving each other about, a lot of the climate change agenda is in there. All that is giving government money to all these fake green companies that do nothing.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. And these fake green companies can't even produce what they need to produce to even make it a viable thing.
Yeah, no, that's true.
They are destroying the country with climate change. And when Donald Trump, soon after Donald Trump, this is another issue, is that soon after Donald Trump announced that he was running 2015, 2016, I was on Facebook. And I was making a lot of headway. And George Soros jumped on. And he was being filmed from the bottom up. And he says, I think it's about time you meet your new...
He said this to you personally, George Soros?
Yes.
Really?
In a live post.
Wow. So you were personally targeted by George Soros like that. That's amazing. With his own voice?
Yep.
Wow.
Him sitting in a chair, and they were filming him from the bottom up. I think it was more a scare tactic.
Why was George Soros after you personally?
Saying things about, because I was saying about Clinton that were true.
Well, yeah. That's interesting. Wow. So you never, Haley, you must be a very important person to be on that list.
Actually, probably not.
No, I mean, George Soros hasn't talked about me personally, but he's targeted you personally. That's amazing. That's a badge of honor for you.
I was like saying stuff about Hillary Clinton and the things that she's done, and he got on. It scared the hell out of me.
It should. Hey, listen. It should. I mean, he's a bad guy. Hey, Texas, thanks for the call. Wow, George Soros personally targeted her. I want to talk about something here, though, before the bottom of the hour break that is an amazing accomplishment of President Trump's. Now, those of you, I talked about this on my weekend YouTube live stream that I do over the weekend. This is an amazing thing. What President Trump has done, what he has done is absolutely amazing. With these 209 primary victories, it's beyond just that. He has destroyed the Republican line of political family dynasties. And let me go through some of them. Last week, 2 family political dynasties of the Republican establishment were destroyed. Just last week. The Cheney dynasty is done. And also the McCain political dynasty. Done. Right. Because of the Kerry Lake. That's 2. The Bush dynasty is done. Think about that. The Bush dynasty is completely wiped out. Jeb's son tried to run in Texas for state office and got creamed. So we've got the McCain dynasty is done by Trump this primary season. The Cheney dynasty, the Bush family dynasty, they're done. And I'm going to mention another one that you don't think about too much. The Romneys have had a dynasty going on too. He is the end of the line. I mean, think about that. Those are the main Republican establishment political dynasties have been completely stopped by Donald Trump while he's not even in office. That's what I talk about him totally reshaping the Republican Party establishment. The Democrats, they're doing themselves in, and he's helping them even make it worse. But the Republican establishment, as we know it, no longer exists because of Donald Trump and what he's been doing. And that is absolutely amazing, people. It is absolutely amazing. It's something that people don't focus in on or think about too much because the mainstream media don't want you to think about it that way. The Republican political establishment leadership has been dethroned completely from their power over the Republican establishment. And those families, the McCains, the Cheneys, the Bushes, and the Romney, very powerful. It's amazing. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years this year on the radio. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be back after this. Show on the radio since 1970. I mean, think about that, guys. That's amazing. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be back after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
If you're new to the show, make sure you subscribe. Our bottom of the hour break is our longest of breaks that we have each hour. No, actually, Romney's niece, Ronna McDaniel, she works for Trump. She's under Trump. There's no more Romney. People are going to hold political power. That's it. The Romney family, remember his dad was governor and all that? The Romney family have held elective office for...
Because if you drive over the speed limit, you can do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Your face. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.
Alrighty, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977, Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Morning.
Well, that's a good question you asked. Just on a personal note, I did something about 20 minutes ago that I'm going to share with the audience a little bit. I've been suffering from some knee pain, and I went up and for the last week or two, and over the weekend I did something stupid. Elon Musk was launching another rocket up in space from here in Florida, so I got the ladder out. I climbed up on the roof to watch the SpaceX launch, and when I came down off the roof, I jumped off the ladder before I was down at the bottom because it was a little shaky, and I landed on my knee and hurt my knee. So, and I didn't even get to see the rocket. It was too cloudy. The clouds were blocking SpaceX. But I took a powdered pain medication for my knee about 20-25 minutes ago, and I'm feeling a little loopy. So, hey, exactly. It's awesome. So, yeah. So, so you don't know what I'm going to say. I'm not responsible for anything I say from this point forward.
There you go. So I'm a little dazed and confused.
You want some of what I'm taking?
I fell asleep watching the VIN list.
Oh, it was great last night.
Yeah, it seemed great, but then I got very kind of confused in the middle of it, and there is a lot of confusion about the status of things right now. And I thought we might take this little period before our guest arrives to kind of straighten out any confusion. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in the audience who's dazed and confused, even though I didn't fall off a ladder. This Fourth Amendment thing, I don't really understand. I thought I understood it. I thought I understood that Trump is going to be suing.
Okay, let me catch you up to speed. Last night was the first time. I was talking about this at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. Last night was the first time that I went out of my way to catch Mark Levin's show on Fox on Sunday night since like it debuted. Okay, I'm not, but I did last night because Jared Kushner was the guest who was on for 2 segments. And Jared Kushner, who you were telling me on Friday they were reporting in the Inquirer was the mole inside the Trump orbit. You don't get to hear Jared Kushner talk too much, so I watched it for that. And, oh, he's awesome. I love Jared Kushner. I think he's great. And yeah, sure, he's awesome. But anyway, so I caught the show last night. So this is what's going on, though, with Trump this week. We got a little bit of clarity with some of our callers earlier, okay? We've got this magistrate who's not even a real judge, right? They're like a judge's assistant. They're not like a presidential appointed federal judge, who signed off on the warrant to break into Mar-a-Lago. And by the way, the break-in was 2 weeks ago this morning. In fact, almost at this very time, 2 weeks ago. So there was one thing I was confused about, okay? Now, we know President Trump and his legal team are expected to go this week to federal court to get the whole search tossed. And I didn't hear...
As I get questions I want to address.
Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just telling you.
When you say go to court, You mean the judge?
Oh, I'm going to clarify all that. I'm going to clarify. All your questions will be answered at the end of this. Okay. So, and for the Fourth Amendment is the amendment that protects us against, unreasonable search and seizure, which was a big thing in the colonial era, where the redcoats would just come in your house and search everything. So that was a big deal from the founders. So they're going to go to the Trump legal team. And he has a great lawyer, this guy whose name I don't know, and I heard an interview of him. It was only the audio. These Trump beauties are attorneys, but they're like the spokesmodel attorneys. He's got this guy who's like a real, he's the kind of lawyer you want, right? I mean, he's one of those tough New York types, that don't take no for an answer. He's really good. They're going to go to federal court this week to have the entire search tossed out, I'm going to answer that part. You just asked. Okay, so I've been listening for 3 days to Turley and all these other legal minds talk about it, and they never clarified what exactly was going on here. And my concern was they were going to go to this magistrate and ask him to toss out the search that he approved of. That is not the case. They're going to go, Trump's legal team are going to go to a real judge, a real federal judge, not a magistrate, a real federal judge. Which one, we don't know. Where, we don't know. I'm assuming it'll be here in Florida because that's where the break-in was, but I don't know. It could be in Manhattan. It's federal. They're going to go to a real federal judge to get it tossed. So that's good news.
Well, if it plays out that way, that would be good news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Position. I mean, who's to say what the court will say, but that's what their argument's going to be. Yeah. Yeah. And I it seems to me that they're going to be right on the button with that. I think it's a good chance it'll get tossed. It depends on who the judge is. If they can judge shop, which I hope they can and do, and get a good judge, but if they can't judge shop and have to go to a Clinton judge or an Obama judge, or even a Biden judge, because there is such a thing now, then we're in trouble. But if they go to a real judge, yeah, I know. I kind of like doing the show loopy like this, though. I'm such a lightweight. I take aspirin and I'm like high. You know what I mean? I'm not like Hunter. That's why I don't take anything. I'm a lightweight. But no, so that should be good this week. It should be good. And even if they don't toss it, it's good. I mean, they've given us a gift with this break-in.
It would look that way.
And that's... Well, my guess would be that, unfortunately, federal courts, there's no cameras, which is really unfortunate. I wish they would change that, but there's no cameras. So you lose some impact publicly with it news-wise. But now this is just me making this up. I'm guessing here. I've not heard anyone say this or anything else. I'm starting to think that the reason that President Trump hasn't released the footage they have of the FBI ransacking the home of Mar-a-Lago, they're probably going to show that to the judge. They're going to show this to the judge to show that they just went through everything in the house. And what Mark Levin was talking about last night is you can't have a broad warrant that just says, I can search everything a guy... What the hell was that, Steve?
That is one of my cats...
Oh, my goodness.
...attacking another one of my cats.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You sure?
You have me here sometimes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're broadcasting...
Lori is interceded now.
Okay. It sounds like you're either broadcasting from a Planned Parenthood clinic or that guy's or that guy's house in Cleveland where he had the girls chained up in the basement. I don't know, but you said it's cat.
It did sound like that.
Oh my goodness.
I have cats that make some ungodly.
Steve has a studio in his house, okay? So you never know what's going to happen. Especially with the cats. Like I remember when the cats walked on the studio board and just knocked you off the air. That was beautiful. So anyway, I can tell. I can tell. But anyway, we're coming up against our break. But just to finish up real quick, I think that maybe they've been holding off on releasing the video that Trump has of the ransacking during the break-in of Mar-a-Lago to show to this judge, to show that they went through everything, that you can't have a broad warrant that says you can go through everything. You got to be more specific. That's what Levin was saying. Now listen, we're up against the break.
Case, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we're up against a break. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number 888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. It is the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this quick break.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. They're the most polarizing on Oldies 94 South Florida.
Oh, man.
This is Lori Kane.
Those cats in the background were out of control.
But the biggest pain is the cost.
Oh, man. Yeah, I have lost my Wi-Fi. So I can't even, I've lost my Wi-Fi. Yeah, so a listener, I was showing these at the beginning of the stream, a listener sent me these Donald Trump coasters. I'm using them now. These are nice. Marty with an I. Yeah, so I can't see the chat or monitor the chat, so those of you that are mods, be on the lookout. This is me watching my YouTube feed. I got nothing. That's what happens sometimes. I don't know. I've thought about getting an iPad that has its own signal, but I've never really needed one of those before. Nah. Yeah, we've got 5G right here on the top of this building behind us is where we get our 5G from. But this is Wi-Fi that I use on my iPad. I've never had a iPad that uses the internet through, the cell phone towers. Oh, here we are. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Yeah, so just let me explain what I was talking about, Steve, before the break, because this is huge stuff. I'll explain it in detail in just a moment, but I first want to tell people, make an announcement from Mike Lindell and MyPillow. They updated their specials at mypillow.com. And there's a lot of great specials there with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. But specials on occasion do expire, and some of them expired over the weekend on the update. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is still 50% off, by the way, with our promo code Kane. But I got a specific email from Mike Lindell's office over the weekend about the special on the MyPillow My Slippers. It is about to expire, and it's going to expire without notice very, very soon, because they're about to run out of certain sizes, styles, and colors. And when they don't have everything available, to customers, they'll stop the special. And the My Pillow My Slippers, I have a pair of the My Pillow My Slippers. I have a pair of the fur-lined tan moccasin slippers, and I'm going to order today because when I get off the air, because this special is going to disappear, I'm going to order a pair of the tan slip-on non-fur-lined My Pillow My Slippers. Just the slip-on, no fur-line, and the tan ones. But the My Pillow My Slippers with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, right now are $90 off. They're $90 off, just $49.98 with our promo code Kane. They have all the sizes and colors, fur-line, not fur-line, the moccasins, the slip-ons. They even have pink for the ladies. Everything is in stock currently right now as I speak. But as soon as they run out of a color or a size, the special is going to end, and they told me they're almost out. So
before you put in your order, I want to put in, I've been trying to get a particular pair of slippers.
Okay, we'll go through it today and order that. I'm going to order myself a pair of the tan slip-ons, non-fur-line. You like the gray slip-ons? Okay. We just got to, okay, that's not a problem. And right now, they're $90 off, so order like see, even Steve and I, we're even ordering today to get our final order in. The My Pillow My Slippers, $90 off, just $49.98. All sizes, all colors, just $49.98, $90 off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And you can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, Kane. All right, so let me get back to what we were talking about, because this is a big deal. And these people on television, I mean, I know I'm not Shirley. I've not gone to law school. You know, I went to Trump University. It was at the Airport Hilton on a Saturday afternoon. But I haven't heard any of them really get into details about what we could expect to happen when Trump's lawyers go to federal court to get the search tossed out. Well, because they're lazy, okay? They're lazy. These television pundits, they should be all over this. There's two things, okay? They're going to go to another federal judge, not the Epstein lawyer, Obama donor magistrate. They're going to go to another federal judge with this motion. Which one, we don't know, and where, we don't know. It may not be in Florida. It may be in Florida. We don't know. Okay, but we do know they're going to go to a real federal judge, not the magistrate. That's a positive right there, Steve, because, you know, I think they went to the magistrate because they couldn't get a real judge to sign off on it, right? I mean,
accurate.
I mean, for something that big, for the first time in the history of America, to serve a warrant on the home of a president of the United States, I mean, that's something you want the big league guy who's been appointed by a president to sign off on that, not some magistrate, you know, bureaucrat. So that's a positive. And the other thing is, and I put this together with, Levin didn't talk about the video, but what Mark Levin talked about in his opening monologue before Jared Kushner, who was awesome last night, by the way, before Jared Kushner came on, he said you can't have a broad warrant, a warrant when you go into someone's home or you search their business or their car or their house has to be specific. There's something, and you can't have a broad warrant that allows you to go through everything in the house just like that without being specific. And that's where and Levin didn't mention the video, but I think that's where the video comes in. They went through everything in the house. They were in there for 9 hours. Remember, they went through Melania's closet and underwear drawer. They went through the president's office. 9 hours. They did.
Overly broad.
That's right. So I'm thinking they've been saving the video that they have, and I promise you, the videos that President Trump has at Mar-a-Lago are probably the best quality surveillance videos you can have in a home, because it's Mar-a-Lago and everything President Trump has is the best. When they're going to show the federal judge the video of how they ransacked the entire home, and that's what's going to do them in. And then it'll become public, the video, after they deal with this thing in court this week. But you remember, they went in, the feds, and told them to shut off the video, and they did briefly, and then they turned it back on. And Eric Trump said they were watching it up in New York. They saw it live. The video, they have a live, like I have that doorbell camera. I can see my front porch right now. They were watching it live up at the house and up at Trump Tower and Trump's home there apparently. And that video is gonna do them in. I think that's what's going on.
It figures. I mean, on the most basic level, what they say is the side that is trying to prevent information from becoming public is usually the side that's
guilty. Yeah. Defendants usually try to prolong everything, not rush it and have full disclosure. And it's the government, the prosecutors always want everything out there so people can see that they got the goods. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Central Florida.
Hey, Terry in Central Florida.
Hey, you had mentioned Laura Loomer a little bit ago.
Yep.
I've been in several meetings with her lately, and she's up in the polls a little bit right now. And I didn't know if there's any way anybody had a chance to contact President Trump or his family and get his endorsement to just kind of put her over the top.
Well, it's tomorrow. Laura Loomer, a lot of you that are regular listeners know, is a very good friend of mine. And I almost got arrested with Laura Loomer once. Laura Loomer almost got me arrested at the town hall meeting on gun control that CNN had after the Parkland shooting. And President Trump has voted for her twice because last time she ran was in his district. But we'll see if Laura Loomer wins her primary tomorrow in Central Florida. That's a strong Republican district that includes the villages. She will win the general election and go to Congress. She's running against an incumbent Republican, so that's tough. But it's too late to seek out an endorsement for Trump from her. For her, I should say.
Get a last-minute endorsement, but she's up a little bit. I don't think she really needs it, but...
Oh, you always need it.
Yeah, the guy she's running against, just people don't know him. I mean, I used to support him, but it's basically time for him to go. And we're just praying and hoping that she gets in for America.
Oh, Laura Loomer is, let me tell you, she goes up there. We'll have Laura Loomer, Sarah Palin, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. We're going to have our own squad. And it'll be beautiful, but she's got to win tomorrow's the Florida primary. And you gotta vote. Ron DeSantis is running unopposed. So a lot of Republicans are going to feel like, I don't need to go out tomorrow because Governor DeSantis is unopposed. These congressional races are important, like this Loomer race up in Central Florida. And you got to go and vote tomorrow, even though Ron DeSantis does not have an opponent.
He always speaks highly of you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, tell her I said hi. Appreciate it. All right, take care. Take care. Take care. Yeah, Laura Loomer's awesome. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. We do have a guest coming up for the first segment of the next hour after the top of the hour break. A pretty good one, too. And I think... Well, I didn't clarify it for you. Maybe you need some of my pain medication, Steve. This medication I took for my knee, it cleared up everything. I don't have any worries. I'm king of the world, man. I know. It's just... You know what it is? It's just it's powdered aspirin, and I put it in water and drank it. I guess because it's powdered, it gets into the body quicker. But my knee pain is gone. It's absolutely amazing. It'll come back, I'm sure, after the show. But we have a guest in the first segment of the next hour. But after the guest, we will get back to our phones at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. This is going to be a big week, no doubt about it. And I hope President Trump, They think he's impatient and impulsive. He's a very patient man when it comes to these things. And they like to promote in the media that he's an out of control person, but he's very much in control. And I don't know what day he's going to go to federal court. No one does, but don't want you to get up to pee. You know what I mean? So they keep you on edge, like it could happen any minute. When it happens, you'll have plenty of notice, I promise you. And it certainly won't happen this early in the morning because the government's not even open yet. You know. All right, our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. You know, that Jared Kushner interview, I thought it was very interesting, the Levin interview with Jared Kushner. He talked about how his transformation from a liberal to a MAGA conservative. He said, I grew up and lived on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and I thought I was around enlightened people, the media, business people, artists, and the people from the fashion world. And it wasn't until I met people at a Trump rally that I started to realize I wasn't enlightened as I thought I was. And I thought that he said in the first rallies people didn't really know who he was, so he circulated and among the people in the rally. They didn't know who he was yet. And that's when he realized that the people in the Upper East Side of New York are not enlightened, right? They're like in a coma. They don't know what's going on. So I thought Jared Kushner was very interesting last night on Mark Levin. So if any of you guys caught that, I did not catch Kash Patel on there, okay? I just saw Jared. I didn't, well, he's always good. But I did miss Kash Patel on Levin. So if anything newsworthy happened, let us know. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. We'll come back. There's a lot more to talk about. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this. 65-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good day, everybody. Hope you're off to an awesome start. Our daytime high today will be simmering in the low 90s. It will feel like the triple digits, and there's only an off chance we see an isolated shower or storm. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
Yeah, I have lost my Wi-Fi. Welcome, everyone. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. You'll hear who the guest is when I call them in just a minute. I'm supposed to call them at 8:04, but we got to be on the air before that. So hopefully they'll be there ready to be there. If not, I'll have to call Rich Allen, the board up over here, to call. I'm going to call him at 2 minutes after who our guest is. Oh, hey, Sarah. Sarah, you know, you sent me that TikTok video yesterday. I made that into a YouTube short. You got to see it. Unbelievably scary stuff. About 90 seconds. About 10 minutes, 12 minutes at the most. Okay, great. I'm gonna put you on hold. You're gonna hear silence on hold until we intro you, but we'll be live. Hold on. Oh, he was expecting the call. I didn't even have to ask for him. That's Dick Morris, whose book I have here. I feel so important. He said, Brian. He didn't even say hello. He said, Brian. I feel so important.
Start the semester strong. Staples has you covered. A gaming chair for my door. Staples has you covered. A better way to organize my
Boy. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just me being loopy from my aspirin, but I thought it was pretty cool that I called Dick Morris and he said, Brian, without even saying hello or me saying who it was.
Your chest.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane. Of course, here it is, the Steve Kane Show. And on our celebrity hotline, we have the #1 New York Times best-selling author, Dick Morris, whose new book, The Return, is available wherever books are sold. Dick Morris, who was an advisor to our great President Donald Trump. Dick Morris, good morning.
Hey, good. But the subtitle is my favorite. Trump's big comeback win in 2020.
That's right. That's awesome.
2016, I wrote a book called Armageddon, How Trump Will Beat Hillary. And I predicted it 6 months before the election when nobody else was saying that. And then this book is the sequel to it, and it explains how Trump will win in 2024. He's definitely going to run. Primary, and I think he's going to win the general election.
Worse.
Yes, well, I think it's true. I think that the Democrats have realized that they cannot beat Trump in a Republican primary. They've seen how Trump's endorsed candidates have won every one of these races. So what they're doing is what I predict they would do in my book, The Return. I lay it all out there. Is they're using the criminal justice and judicial system to try to stop Trump when they can't do it through the political system. And the Mar-a-Lago raid was the central indication of that. And what I write is that the Mar-a-Lago raid was not about archives. Nobody gives a damn about archives. Some historian 20 years from now will have a ball. What the raid was about was to get in the front door at Mar-a-Lago so they can search for documents to try to implicate Trump in the January 6th riot and pretend that it was an insurrection against the American government. And under the office. And that ridiculous, fanciful, crazy, paranoid theory has no documentation, no support from the January 6th committee. So what they decided to do was to raid Mar-a-Lago to see if they could dig up anything that would substantiate that and help them try to keep Trump off the ballot. And that's their plan.
So what would you say, by the way, did you see Mark Levin last night?
No.
Oh, because I was wondering what you think of, that today's supposed to be a big day. They're talking about, going to another court. What can you tell us about the situation as it shapes up today?
Yeah, I don't know what Levin last night, but the whole controversy over unsealing the warrants and archives and all that is all just filler. The important point here is that the raid was designed to get information about the January 6th riot that would come.
It was a fishing trip.
Trump, of course it was, and it was a vicious fishing trip. And you know how you know that it was a failure, and you know how you know that it's an embarrassment to the Democrats. Not a single Democrat has spoken up in its defense. You haven't heard Biden saying this was an important raid. You haven't heard Harris defending it. Schumer and Cohen haven't spoken up except word one about it. No Democratic senator has come out and said this raid was very important. So it's blowing up in their face. The reason they did the raid the day they did, a week ago, 2 weeks ago Monday, 2 weeks ago today, is that is the 90th day before the by-election. And the FBI rules say you can't do anything that could affect an election within 90 days of the election. So they were planning to defeat Trump in the primaries. The master plan of the Democrats, I write this all out in my book, was to foment a primary against Trump by luring DeSantis or Pence or Haley into the race and saying Trump couldn't win and Trump was damaged by January 6th and Trump is toxic and so on. And then they came a series of and when Trump lost Georgia, that encouraged them. Then Trump won the next 20 primaries in a row. And it became clear that he could win anything in a Republican primary. So the Democrats said, oh my God, we got to recalculate our plans. We can't beat the primary. Yeah, Plan B is let's try to indict him for sedition over his role in the January 6th riot and used that to keep him off the ballot. And that's why they raided Mar-a-Lago. So I don't care about the search warrants. I just care about what they find. And so far, they haven't found anything because they haven't leaked anything.
Yeah. Dick Morris, this break-in with Mar-a-Lago, do you think that they had something on their mind that was there, or was this just totally, let's break in and see if we can find something? It seems like that's a desperate move.
It is. They're totally desperate because they see Trump coming. They see that they can't beat him in a Republican primary. They see that they've got that they're Biden is a hopelessly flawed thing. They see themselves losing the 14th election, and they are desperate. And let me give you one other angle. The IRS expansion that they passed is of a piece with this plan, because their goal is not revenue. They don't care about that, and they know that the rich people bury their assets so deep that these 87,000 guns aren't going to be able to unearth it. But what they are trying to do is to intimidate millions of Americans, mom and pop stores, bodega owners, waitresses and waiters that work off of tips, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, and trying to intimidate them for unreported income. 90% of the FBI audits for unreported income are people making less than $25,000 a year. That's the target group. And their goal here is to intimidate them and not get them to get off of Trump. So, for example, an agent will show up at their door and say, we audited you, and last year I don't think you reported all your tip income. And with this other guy, he deducted some dinners that he said were business expenses, and we checked with the restaurant. He ate alone. So we could indict you on lying to a federal official and lying on your tax return. But you're a nice guy, and I think you're honest. We're not going to do that to you. But that's law, and that's it. But Trump, that's kind of inflammatory. Why don't you take it down? And that bumper sticker on your car, like a red flag to my boss. And for God's sake, don't let my boss know that you go to Trump rallies, because he will go ballistic, and I don't know what he'll do then.
Wow. That doesn't sound like America. That's right. Lois Lerner,
and that puts the Tea Party out of business. You never heard from them, too.
Well, they believe, Dick Morris, who's an advisor to President Trump, his new book, The Return, Trump's Big 2024 Comeback, available wherever books are sold. We're short on time for the segment, Dick Morris, but the latest count on Trump victories this primary cycle, by my count, is 209 endorsement victories by President Trump. That's a world's record, isn't it? 209.
And like 12 defeats or something.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But you see, there's a layered plan to the Democratic plan to get away from Trump. The first part was trying to stop him from taking office. That was the Russiagate.
Yep.
Tried to impeach him. That was Ukraine. Then tried to vilify him. That was the January 6th. Then tried to defeat him in primaries so that it's evident that he can be beaten in DeSantis and somebody else gets into the race and ties Trump up like Kennedy did tie up Carter and compromised his ability to run against Reagan in 1980. And now they see that none of that's going to work. So what they're doing now desperately is flailing about for January 6th evidence, which is an absurd contention.
Will Merrick Garland indict President Trump? Should we expect that?
I think they might well. And bear in mind that an indictment comes from the D.C. grand jury, Washington, D.C. grand jury, with complete packed with Democrats. And they acquitted Michael Sussman, for God's sakes, when the evidence was...
Yeah, that's right.
One guy once had a ham sandwich, and they could do that in the D.C. court. But I believe that even if he's under indictment, Trump will win.
That's right. Everything they do makes him stronger and more popular. Steve, real quick.
You talked about the Washington grand jury. I mean, that's true, but also if he is indicted and if it does go to trial, it's the jury that he's going to appear in front of is a Washington grand jury or a grand jury.
That's why we have appellate courts in the U.S. and I'll bet the difference.
That's right.
On a relatively minor charge by a D.C. juror.
Well, listen, we got to take our break. Dick Morris, his book, The Return, Trump's Big 2024 Comeback, available wherever books are sold. Dick Morris, tell the president that the Steve Kane Show is with him, and we love him, and to say hi for us.
I sure will. You take.
All right, take care. Back after this.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Visit our website, FloridaLuxuryCabinets.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
The Boca Chamber of Commerce and Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 are moving business forward by promoting and sustaining economic prosperity. Coming up September 1st, mac and cheese and many more. Tickets and more information available at bocachamber.com/events.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633, BrightonDentalCare.com.
O'Reilly! Improve your vehicle's gas mileage and power with Royal Purple Fuel Injector Cleaner at O'Reilly Auto Parts. And right now, buy one 6-ounce bottle and get one free, plus earn double O Rewards points with your purchase. Save money on gas and boost performance with Royal Purple Fuel Injector Cleaner at O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. What's going on? Okay, we are back now. Okay, we're back now. Okay, good. All right. We are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Now, before we do a little talk about that great interview we just had with Trump advisor Dick Morris, I just want to say I was listening during the break, Steve, to your recorded commercial for Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting, who saved you because you're under a Tom Laporta roof. And I want to tell people that no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting can help you just like he did Steve Kane with his roof. And he does every type of roof. And what I mean by that is he has every type of roofing material you could possibly imagine. He's got it. And he also does roofs for any type of structure, single-family homes, businesses, condos, apartment buildings, office buildings. He even does church roofs and has. Yeah, he has. I have one of the tiles from Mar-a-Lago that Tom Laporta gave me right here in the radio studio. Tom Laporta has the exact tiles that are on President Trump's roof at Mar-a-Lago, which are not your normal Spanish tile. They're very unique colors and multiple colors. Tom Laporta has them, and you can actually have a Trump Mar-a-Lago roof on your home or business. When you call Tom Laporta, again, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Tom can help you. He's a good MAGA guy, but if you're interested in having the same roof that President Trump has at Mar-a-Lago, ask him about the Trump roof. He'll know exactly what you're talking about. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportacontracting.com. All right, let's talk a little bit about that Dick Morris interview. Now, I want to point out in the beginning, the Dick Morris interview we just had is a very important interview. Dick Morris is a top advisor to President Trump. They speak constantly, every step of the way. Today, they'll be talking on the phone. And when you talk to Dick Morris about the break-in of Mar-a-Lago, what Dick Morris is sharing with you is word for word what's coming from Donald Trump. That's like having Donald Trump's spokesperson on the phone. And he told us a whole bunch of things here, Steve. He said they weren't looking for anything specific, that they went in there and tore the place apart, hoping to find something that they could use against Trump. That's amazing.
Trouble.
He confirmed that they got nothing, which we've suspected because they spent 2 weeks today, no press conference, no nothing. And he also, Dick Morris said, that they expect President Trump to be indicted by Merrick Garland through one of these D.C. grand juries, that's going to be a scheme to try to keep him off the ballot, but that it's not going to hold up through the appellate process or all the way up to the Supreme Court. So we got a lot of confirmations from the president himself through Dick Morris in that last segment. So I think everything I heard there should make everyone feel good. A great way to start the week.
The high point of that whole thing, that litany of facts that you just spouted, the bottom line is the Supreme Court. The one place that they haven't been able to successfully take over yet is the court system. And we remember when all those judges were appointed, we were going through all that grief with, who's going to be on the Supreme Court and is it important? And well, you see how important it is now, because the ultimate decision in this thing will be handled by the Supreme Court.
That's right.
Judgment on it.
That's exactly right.
Know that we expect a fair shake from the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and you know what, Steve? Let me tell you, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong about this, and I'll throw this out to the audience to call in and share. The cable news, and I'm not picking on just Fox, I'm talking about the cable news in general, okay? They have 24 hours a day to fill. That's a lot of time. And I don't think they want you to feel good sometimes. They want to drag things out because if you're upset, you're feeling bad, you know what I mean? And what we just got from Dick Morris, that interview was Steve's idea, by the way. You called me, I don't know, Thursday or Friday and said, hey, we got to talk to Dick Morris about this Fourth Amendment thing. So we got him on. And I'm glad we did, because everything he shared, I feel great. I mean, that was some of the best news I've heard, because what came from Dick Morris didn't just come from President Trump. That analysis that he shared with us also came from President Trump's legal team that know exactly what happened at Mar-a-Lago. And I would not be surprised if Dick Morris has seen the video of the FBI ransacking it, or at least President Trump has described it to him, because we know he's seen it. And I didn't hear anything from Dick Morris that would sound like there's anything to be worried about. Did you? Oh, man. I got some good news to share with you, too, after the show, Steve. I can't tell you during the show. Just remind me. It's just remind me after the show when I call you that I had good news for you. Good news. Good news. Yeah, good news. Well, we're positive thinking people here. No, but no, that I'm so glad we had divorce. Now, I played these clips in the first hour, but I would have played them again. Jim Acosta, you know that scumbucket over there on CNN. He had Michael Cohen on, okay, over the weekend. Michael Cohen. Listen to this. Jim Acosta's questioning. Listen to how this goes. This is Jim Acosta with Michael Cohen on CNN over the weekend.
Question I wanted to ask you more than anything else, because I've known you a while, and I know you've known Donald Trump for years now, decades now. Do you think this is it? You hear the cliche, the walls are closing in, and
Wait, I know it's hard not to laugh. I'm going to play the whole thing though, Steve. I want to start it from the beginning because you don't miss this. Are the walls closing in? Is this it? They're like, what are they? Let me start it from the beginning. I know it's
closing in, but not the walls he's talking.
They're closing in over on CNN where Brian Stelter signed off over the weekend. But try not to laugh because I don't want you to drown out the desperation in Acosta's questioning. Okay, this is like so desperate, right? You know, this is like I feel like it's like I'm watching Failsafe, and this is the U.S. ambassador on the phone in Moscow to Henry Fonda. You know, listen.
Question I wanted to ask you more than anything else, because I've known you a while, and I know you've known Donald Trump for years now, decades now. Do you think this is it? You hear the cliche, the walls are closing in, and the time's about up for Donald Trump and so on. I wonder what you think, Michael Cohen, knowing what you know about Donald Trump, how he seems to have 9,000 lives, not 9 lives. Do you think that time is running out for Trump?
Okay, I mean, you hear the is time finally running out? Is time and this new theme. I've been hearing this constantly. You know, remember I was telling you guys I started watching CNN and MSNBC after the break-in, and this is a common theme. Trump has 9,000 lives. He's the luckiest man alive. He gets away with it. It doesn't even occur to them. Maybe he's never broken the law, and that's why they can't get him. It's just blind luck. So let's listen to Michael Cohen's reply. Are the walls finally closing in, Michael Cohen?
Yeah, I think ultimately what's happened now is time has gone on and these investigations have now advanced, and the information, the truth, has come out, and the truth is never good for Donald Trump.
Okay, that's it. I love it. Yeah, exactly. I love it. And you can really hear the desperation in Jim Acosta. He's not asking Michael Cohen for evidence. He's just like, tell us what you think. Are they closing it? Yes. And the truth is here. But he never tells you what the truth is or what the evidence is. But they're closing in. All right, now listen, we're coming up on our break for the bottom of the hour. Then we'll be back. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Steve Kane is here. I am Brian Craig. Our number 888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number, toll free, 888-465-2631. We'll come back with your calls after the break. And also, there's some other stories we have not even gotten to yet. But I think the interview was great. We'll talk more about it after this. Don't go anywhere.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee. The Steve Kane Show. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good day, everybody. Hope you're off to an awesome start. Our daytime high today will be simmering in the low 90s. It will feel like the triple digits, and there's only an off chance we see an isolated
Steve
shower.
Kane Show.
I'm WPVF 25 First Morning
Hold on.
meteorologist Sandra
Steve
Shaw.
Kane Show, hold on.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
The major expressways are still incident-free this morning, moving with speed from Boca Raton to Jupiter. We just have some light traffic on the northbound side of the turnpike approaching the Beeline Highway. Also some northbound...
That powdered aspirin knocked the pain out of my knee like that. Kathy's been telling me to take aspirin for it. I wouldn't take anything.
Crash lingers in Seminole Pratt when you were at 80
it was hurting so bad I couldn't concentrate, so I finally did.
Just west of State Road 7. This report is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy. Samsung's new Galaxy Z Flip 4 and Z Fold 4 foldable self-standing phones that let you capture hands-free selfies. Pre-order the Galaxy Z Flip 4 or Z Fold 4 at Samsung.com now to get a free storage upgrading case. Valid through 8/25/2022. See terms and conditions that apply. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Visit our website, FloridaLuxuryCabinets.com.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now in Boca in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. South of Palmetto on the east side of 441. Open Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands, no matter where you are. And that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free, customized home security system.
We'll be back in about 2 minutes. Our bottom of the hour break is our longest break. Yeah, my knee pain is like completely gone from that aspirin. That's amazing.
If you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radium barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Hey, we'd like to remind you that the folks at Liberty Mutual Insurance are always ready to help you customize your home and auto insurance.
Oh, we love
With
Trump
Liberty
here.
Mutual, you only
We
pay
love
for
Trump.
what you need.
I'm wearing a Trump shirt. Space Force. Make space great again.
That you never look at. Let Liberty Mutual customize your insurance, and maybe you save money by switching. This message brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222.
Yeah, that's right, D. I don't take anything. I really don't.
Consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642.
Some people are always taking pills and antibiotics. I only take stuff when I really need to.
Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Happy Times 2 Daycare and Learning Center says, as parents, we are entrusted with a tremendous responsibility to raise and educate our children. This school year, promise yourself that you will get more involved with your child's school, join the PTA, volunteer for special events, or even try to help with homework. Let's show them that school is cool. That's from Happy Times 2 Daycare and Learning Center, where service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. For more information, call 786-657-3934. That's 786-657-3934 for Happy Times 2 Daycare and Learning Center in Opelika. Seniors, how would you like to save money on your Medicare Part B premium? Don't pay too much. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and find
I'm
out
hearing a
how
lot
much
of
money
noise
you
outside
can
the
save.
studio.
There are also changes to
Like outside the
prescription
door
drug
and down the
plans
hall,
in
there's a lot of noise
2023.
going on.
Find out how much money you can save on your prescription plan and Medicare Part B premium. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. No matter where you are in Florida, Debbie can help. 954-753-8080.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show.
Oh man, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Oh man, just a great day, Steve. When President Trump returns home to Mar-a-Lago, with our expansion on our new radio stations that are carrying us up to the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast, President Trump will be able to tune us on each and every morning on the radio at Mar-a-Lago and listen to us live in the morning. He's already listened to the program, Steve. Okay, I know so. I've had multiple people tell me that some of them have been guests on this program that you're familiar with. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you're calling from. And we take all the calls screenless on this program. We screen them live on the air. We don't know who's on hold and what's on their mind, which is very obvious by the content of some of them, I know. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing? Mike, retired police officer, Wellington.
Hey, Mike.
Steve, I'm glad you're back, brother. You sound good. Hey, Brian, this story's going to kind of go to you, okay? This morning, I'm sitting out having coffee with she's a Republican, loves our great President Trump. As we're sitting here having our coffee and cigarettes, she said to me, "Are we going to go vote?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I like this black candidate from running for the Senate." Excuse me?
Val Demings?
She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "She's a retired police officer. She sounds really good." I said, "Nina, do you understand that she's a Democrat and she's one that's going to defund, go ahead and screw our great state of Florida?" I said, she goes, "No." She goes, "Look at the commercials." She says she's a Republican. She runs like a Republican. The commercials are based like a Republican.
Yep.
I said, I'm telling you, Nina, she's a Democrat. And it goes to you what you said a few weeks back, that the way she's running her ad, people are getting confused. And I looked at her and I said, it's people like you. Not in a bad way.
People like you, Nina.
I said you don't know what you're voting for.
Well, okay, now let me cool you down. Now your lady friend, she's a registered Republican? Oh, your wife. Okay. People like you people
sleeping.
Or your next. It sounds like you keep talking to her this way. She may be your ex-wife. No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing though. In Florida, in the primaries tomorrow, you can only vote for people that are members of the party in which you're registered. So she cannot vote for Val Demings in the primary tomorrow, even if she wanted to, because it's the Republican primary, and her ballot will only have Republicans on it, no Democrats. So that gets you through that. Now, I want to tell. I'm glad you mentioned this because I forgot to bring this up earlier, but I'm gonna bring this up. I did mention this on Friday, but I want to bring it up again. You in this listening audience, the Steve Kane listening audience, did something amazing with Val Demings. I've been pushing all last week to get you guys to put on social media, contact everyone you know about Val Demings security people attacking the guy with the camera at her campaign event a couple weeks back. It finally got picked up by the mainstream media, including liberal Politico. So you guys got that story out. But Val Demings, in one of her commercials, I showed this on my YouTube channel over the weekend. She's got one commercial, Val Demings. She's wearing a red blouse in the beginning of the commercial, and then later in the commercial, she's got a blue blouse on. She really is embarrassed to tell people she's a Democrat, and she's fooling a lot of people like your lovely wife, Nina. But don't worry. She's gonna probably win the primary tomorrow for the Democrats and go up against Marco Rubio. But we're here on this program. We are going to be telling people every day that what she's really about, and we're gonna get more detailed after the primary. And she says in her ads that the crime went down in Orlando when she was police. Well, I imagine it's a lot like happened in Parkland. If you don't arrest people and charge them, you don't have crimes on the books. And you're a retired police officer. You know about cooking the crime stats. This is what they do. We'll talk more about Val Demings as the months go on. But the primary is tomorrow in Florida. Ron DeSantis does not have an opponent, but please go. You got to make sure you go out and vote too tomorrow, Steve. You and Lori, don't miss it. there's a lot of congressional candidates on the ballot. You need to make sure you go out and vote, okay? And it's very, very, very important. When our top of the I almost wish that there was some never Trumper running against Ron DeSantis, because I know a lot of MAGA people figure, well, DeSantis doesn't have an opponent. What's the bother? There's not a big race in my district. You still need to go out there and vote in the primary. And Ron DeSantis, don't worry, he's going to... The Democrats have a fight on who's going to win the right to lose to Ron DeSantis, right? Is it going to be Nikki Fried or... who's that scummy guy that used to be our governor, the fake Republican? Charlie Crist. Charlie Crist. It's either going to be Charlie Crist or Nikki Fried, but it's very important, this election. Plus, we want... those of you that are new to Florida and came down here to escape the tyranny of the North for Ron DeSantis' free Florida, many of them, Steve, this is going to be the first time they get to vote Republican in their life, because they've been Democrats in New York or Pennsylvania, wherever they fled from. And you imagine you get to vote Republican for the first time in your life. I mean, tell you, you'll feel good about it when you walk out. And this is a very important thing to point out. Do not be intimidated by poll watchers, okay? When you go that you are... when I vote, anytime I have voted, almost every time I've ever voted, I've worn a T-shirt for whoever I was supporting at the time. And when I go and vote tomorrow, when I get off the air tomorrow, I'm going to go home, pick up my wife, we're going to go vote. I'm going to wear my Make America Great Again hat, and I'll probably wear a Trump shirt too. Do not let the poll watchers tell you you're not allowed to vote because you're in your MAGA gear. That is a lie. And poll watchers are not to speak to you. They're to watch you, okay? They're not. And if a poll watcher, and just because someone's a Republican poll watcher doesn't mean you can trust them either. There's a lot of never Trumpers that become the Republican poll watchers, okay? A lot of these establishment jerks. If a poll watcher tells you you can't vote because you've got a MAGA hat on or a Trump shirt on, that is not true. You're not allowed, campaigns are not allowed to campaign within a certain number of feet away from a polling location, but you can vote. I have voted for President Trump every time with a MAGA hat on and a Trump shirt on, okay? And if they try to tell you you don't, the poll watchers, there's a code phrase that'll get them off your back, all right? You're interfering with the voter. Stop talking to me. You got to use that phrase, interfering with the voter. That'll get them off your back. Their supervisor will pull them back because they're not supposed to be talking to you, okay? So just don't let them tell you you can't wear your MAGA hat to vote. That is not true. And I tell you, I know there's a lot of MAGA people that are volunteering as poll watchers. And if you can, you should do that in the general election. I can't, but you guys certainly can. And a lot of times, Steve, many times I've gone to vote and run into poll watchers and poll workers that are listeners to the program, and they'll tell me when I go there. So just watch out. You got to make sure you guys get the kid. Do your kids vote Republican, Steve?
I don't.
You don't know? Nah. Oh, that's too bad. Isn't it? Oh my goodness. Well,
I failed as a parent.
Well, my daughter voted for Ron DeSantis and Trump last time, and she's a registered independent. She switched to Republican. She's Blacks for Trump now, my daughter.
Well, that's great.
I'm going to get her a shirt that says Blacks for Trump. She can wear it on the cruise. Well, since she's biracial, my daughter calls herself African American because she's biracial. From anywhere, 1-888-465-2631, 1-888-465-2631, and don't forget, listen, Alexa, play WWNN Radio, okay? And if you want to listen to us on the iHeartRadio app, you can search for us on iHeartRadio. Search for our radio station call letters, WWNN, on the iHeartRadio app. That's 2 W's and 2 N's, and you'll see Oldie South Florida comes up. That's us. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio right there. And if you miss a portion of the show, at around 10 o'clock each day, go to oldiesouthflorida.com. The entire Steve Kane Show is uploaded as a podcast on our radio station website every day. about an hour after we sign off the air, because it takes about an hour to do the production work. oldiesouthflorida.com. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break for the Gold Report and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. And we'll also take your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Back after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll also take your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Back after this.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, and each day at this time we check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca Raton with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals look this morning?
Metals looking lower again this morning, Brian, giving us another buying opportunity or continued buying opportunity to add to our positions at cheap prices. We saw gold close out Friday last week at $1,747.60 the ounce. That was down $11.10. Silver was down 47 cents at $19.06, while platinum was down $14 at $8.96, and palladium closed down $30 at $2,060. This morning we see gold lower again, down $17.60 right now at $1,730. Silver down 31 cents at $18.75. There's a bargain for you. Platinum down $26 at $870 at the ounce, and palladium down $110 at $1,950. The dollar continues to be very strong, which is making it very difficult for the precious metals to rep this market.
No, that's great. So the metals are on sale this morning, actually all of them. And can you tell people, William Youngerman, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. weekdays. You can stop in and everything's available for immediate delivery, or you can call and order over the phone. Can you tell people a little detail about calling you when you open at 10 and locking in their price?
Yes, they can certainly do that. They can call, lock in a price, and wire the money, and they're shipped out their convenience.
Yeah, because later in the day, maybe those prices go up a little bit, right? You call in at 10 and lock in that price. Like right now, it's looking really good, all of them, and then you don't get affected by that later in the day. That's what I call a Steve Kane maneuver, because that's what you do all the time, Steve. Yeah. So listen, William Youngerman opens up today and every weekday at 10 a.m. You can call him and lock in your price toll free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop right in. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, have a great day. We'll touch base tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, back after this.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All righty, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Dick Morris just started our week off with great news, and everything's going according to Trump's plan, which is very good. All right, you want to take some calls, Steve?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Matt.
Hey, JJ.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's good. Another good getting Dick on. Love that guy and the information he brought. Briefly on Acosta and Cohen. Cohen, basically Acosta's saying, you always bring the receipts. There's so much. The only receipt that guy ever brought was a parking receipt to get validation. It's pathetic that those two guys were on TV at the same time. But when it comes to Jared and what Dick Morris was saying, the interview last night with
Levin.
Jared Kushner,
yeah.
The general warrant is what Levine was talking about. That is so. We fought a war with the British over stuff like that. If it gets all the way to the Supreme Court, if it has to, it'll be ruled unconstitutional.
Well, you know what, Dick Morris shared a lot of stuff, but one thing he shared that I thought was, to me, the biggest takeaway, and it's not just because I asked the question about it, but it was something I'd been wondering about, is when he said that they had no idea, they had no specific thing they were after, that it was just a general break-in and let's hope we find something. You know what I mean? And that, when you serve a warrant on a home of a president of the United States, I don't care which one it is, you better have a very specific idea of why you're doing it, and that alone is going to get it tossed out.
Yep, that's exactly one of the things that, during the interview, which I loved Kushner. During the interview, you can just see how measured he is, how level-headed. He's a tactician, and how he spoke about his dad or his father-in-law, the president, and how that he found it somewhat amazing how he got to the Democrats. He's got them so confused, so erratic that they constantly overreaching. And I think when this first happened, and you were talking about on the radio a couple of weeks back, we were all talking about how, I just think that they've overreached. They don't know, they don't understand what they did, and it's just it's constantly growing. And when they show the video, when President Trump shows that video, if he shows it, soon, or if he shows it later on, it's just going to get. I can see even some Democrats.
It's going to disgust people when they see them have to. There's a famous quote, and I don't remember who said it. Either you, Steve, will know, or JJ will know. This is before my time. Who was it that said, I don't know how Nixon won. I don't know anyone who voted for Nixon. Remember that? When he won re-election and he won 49 states? Someone said that, and I can't remember who. Do you remember who said it?
I don't remember it. It was no one famous.
No, it was somebody in California. Pops in my mind, an official, an elected. If somebody remembers who said that, call and let us know. The reason I bring that up is these anti-never Trumpers, Democrats and Republicans, that's what they're like. Everybody hates Donald Trump. He's a criminal. He's got something. I can't, and they don't see reality. And they really did not, they don't understand why we're against them and with them still, and why each of these schemes, look what, over the weekend, that Judas, Mike Pence, went to the Iowa State Fair, which is considered the launch of his presidential campaign. I mean, these people don't see reality.
That's the biggest problem. I think back when you were talking about, Brian, I think Steve might agree with me, we used to argue about, where we were, we agreed with where we were, what the facts were, but the disagreement was about how we were going to get from where we were to a better place, and that was politics. It was a discussion. We agreed on the facts, but it was, we want to go this way to get to a better place, and and the Republicans want to go this way, and that was the discussion, and that's where the problem. Now we're arguing about what's real and what's not real. The argument gets down to, we have how many genders now? What is a woman?
Yeah.
The Democrats, it's just gone. It's not the discussion of how we get to a better place. It's that nobody agrees what is true anymore. Everything.
It's a good point.
I mean, they've turned the whole country into the crying game, right? Remember the crying game? Oh my goodness! All right, hey, listen, JJ, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Great call. I'm telling you, the level of content from the callers to this program in the last couple of months has increased tremendously. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if it's the expansion or just people getting fed up or what. But we have very smart callers that really are like better than these pundits I see on the cable news most of the time, I think. But this. One thing I'd mention, Steve, to Dick Moore is President Trump has had 209 endorsement victories in the primary alone, and that's amazing. So he has totally reshaped the Republican Party and turned it into the MAGA Party. If he had his 2 terms consecutively, he would not have done this, because he wouldn't have had the time. He'd be negotiating with these snakes to get his agenda through right now, and these Trump haters don't understand. They really don't. The great gift they gave to the country, by having Trump with 2 non-consecutive terms, because this middle period, he's totally reshaped the party, which he never would have done if he were in the White House right now. And oh man, President Trump will be unofficially the Speaker of the House and the leader of the Senate after the election in November. Because Trumplicans, MAGA Republicans, I call them Trumplicans, are the ones that are going to be taking over both houses. And those never Trumpers like McConnell that are left behind, if they're not with the Trumplicans, they're done. They won't get it. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. I mean, it's, that's why Trump's a winner. He can take something that's like a major defeat and turn it into something that a win beyond a win greater than he would have had if he was in the White House right now, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And when he comes back in 2024, he's going to have that massive mandate to get his entire agenda done. And I'm telling you, Biden is running. He announced over the weekend he's going to travel the nation to tell people all the goodness that he gave us in that bill that he signed last week. What does that mean? I've never seen a major bill passed where there's not one thing that they've come out and said, we did a great thing because now you have this, or this will happen for you. They have not one positive. So he's going to go, but him going around the country is a campaign tour. He plans on running in 2 years, and that's great. He's my favorite for the Dems to run. I want him to run against Trump. He's the best to run against Trump, Biden. Oh yeah. Yeah, I tell you, there's winners and losers, and Trump's a winner. Trump is a winner. I saw years ago, there was a documentary done on the New York rich kids, that like in high school and college at, on Martha's Vineyard, and Ivanka Trump was in it. She was young at the time, and she told this story. She said, I was walking in the Trump Tower with my father one day, and there was a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk, and my dad said, he's got more money than I have right now. Because, there were some financial problems with the Trump organization briefly. And look what he did and how he turned that around. He made himself even richer than he ever was before. And that's what's going on right here politically. And it's a wonderful thing. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richard Pompano.
Hey, Richard.
Okay, I'm very worried about one thing, and I just want you to comment.
Oh, here we go.
Good.
No. Yeah, I don't know what polls you're... Kari Lake just won in Arizona. Kari Lake just defeated the McCain machine in Arizona and had a massive victory in Arizona, Kari Lake. Don't worry about the political polls you see them talk about on TV. Worry about the polls like we're going to do tomorrow and the actual vote. President Trump has 209 primary endorsement victories. It's a world record. It's a world record. In Pennsylvania? Well, listen, we're not going to win every election, but we're winning most of them. Fetterman, you're talking about Fetterman, yeah. Fetterman, the Democrat, running against... Well, Oz is an idiot. Fetterman, who they have on tape talking about legalizing heroin and other drugs. He chased an innocent he chased an innocent black man down the street with a shotgun, like his own personal lynching party. And Dr. Oz has many things to go after Fetterman on, and he hasn't. And because he's an amateur. And I think we're still in primary phase. I know that primary is over. When we get to the real election, maybe President Trump will send Oz some real campaign people that don't work for Harpo Productions, and get that campaign back on track. Hey, listen, thanks. Yeah, thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. Oh, Steve, now after the show, I'm going to order you a pair of My Pillow, My Slippers, and a pair for myself, because right now, and this special will end very shortly without notice, the My Slippers at MyPillow.com are $90 off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $49.98. All styles, all colors. I'm ordering myself a pair of the slip-on tan non-fur line. I'm going to order you a pair of what? Which ones do you want, Steve? Fur line, do you want slip-on? Slip-on or the moccasin? Okay, the slip-on gray fur line, and what size shoe do you wear? 11, okay. So I'll order those, I'll order mine, And the reason Steve and I are ordering our My Slippers today is because I got a message over the weekend from Mike Lindell's office personally that this special is about to end without notice because they're almost about to run out of certain sizes and colors and styles. And once they get out of stock on something, the special will end. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, $90 off the MyPillow My Slippers. Steve and I are ordering ours today. You can also order by phone, toll free 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, now as we wind down for today, we are here with you weekday mornings from 5 until 9 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. This is the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet Earth. I promise you that. There is no radio broadcast anywhere on this planet that supports President Trump as much as we do. And it's not just because we're the station of Mar-a-Lago. We love the guy. And I know most of you do too. If you don't, you will. Keep listening. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. It's the Steve Kane Show. See you then. I know most of you do too. If you don't, you will. Keep listening. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. It's the Steve Kane Show. See you then. There, good. All right, guys, listen, I got to run. I got a meeting I got to go to. But thanks for watching, everyone. If you're new here, please subscribe. And everyone, don't leave without liking the video, all right? Take care, guys. Thanks so much.